Sup, Sinlily _ Imoru 100. So happy you're here. Amazing. Icivulpixie just subscribed to us for another month. That's
Yo,
34 now. Icivulpixie. How you doing?
Congrats, Icy. Also, Paz says hello to everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Hello to Lily, hello to Imoru, hello to Icy, nice to see you. Hello to Rose. Chat scrolled automatically and I missed things. Hello to Cold. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Now this is early. Don't interact with that yet, but I'm pinning it now. Hello, Larmouth. Hello. So, to anybody who has not seen this game before, we played this about 2 years ago, I think, is when this came out. I think it was we last played this in 2023. So yeah. This game is controlled by you. Now, I will do my best to explain things as we go. Hello, Naku. I will do my best to explain things as we go. I will do my best to kind of fill you in, guide what's going on, and let you all get a decent understanding. However, I will try to do my best in a non-biased way, even though I'm biased towards living. But basically, the best thing I can do is I can let you all know how the game works, let you all know how to defeat each other, and let you know how to cause some chaos. Now I'm going to click begin because this doesn't start quite here. We are going to play on Twitch. We are starting a new dynasty, and we have some rules here that we typically do. Now, I don't like the Barons. I don't like their plotline. I do, however, like the Counts. I do, however, like the Grandees, and I do like seeing the Patricians, because these are fun plot lines here. For those who are unaware, we have the Counts, who are ruthless aristocrats, who are very much ritual-based. We have the Grandees, who are very religious and have a code of honor. And we have the Patricians, who are about money. Now, these three I find make an interesting group because these are very pro-faith, these are very anti-faith, these are very pro-faith, and these are money. This does a good job of competing with each other. Not quite, Neku. I have my own decisions I have to make, and I have to keep you all in check as well, so it gets interesting. It gets interesting. But these three do a very good job of combating each other and make for a very interesting plotline, and encourages you all to monitor your votes. So these three have become my favorite. These are very military, these are very military, these are very military. If I have all three of those, it ends up being a very military heavy one, and it's not that fun. Very faith-based, very anti-faith-based, very faith-based on their... Well, I'm sorry, anti-faith, anti-faith. Like, you need to balance it in a way. Yeah, it's very... You need to be very clear here. Now, I'm going to click begin. Now you can see here. If you own the game, you can pick a region. You can do ! join followed by the region, and that'll put you in a spot. If you do ! join followed by your pronouns, so you can do he, she, or they, it will put that as your pronoun, and it will just put you in a random spot. So if you own the game, you can pick. If you don't own the game, you're just gonna do ! join followed by your pronouns. Yeah. And then you can see there that Icy has joined the Patricians with they, them. Icy owns the game, so you can do that. Hey, Anu.
Anubis descends. Hello, Anubis. Welcome.
The wall of
in. I see
text.
you come at a wonderful time, as we are actually coming back into King of the Castle classic favorite of Cam and I. I already know who you want. The Counts, of course, fitting for a goddess such as yourself, I'm sure. Come in, let's all have a wonderful game and try not to destroy each other, shall we? Right, Cam?
I kind of like the infighting, personally. Hey, BB, how's the window? BB's staring out the window. Let me see what the temperature is if I can open that for you, buddy. Yeah. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. Let me open the window for you. But hello. Yeah, we're gonna leave it on this for a little bit and chat and chill. So again, if you want to join, if you don't own the game, you're just gonna do ! join followed by your pronouns. You don't have to put any pronouns, it'll give you they, them if you don't. But otherwise, it will assign it based on if you say she, he, or they. As far as I'm aware, they haven't really updated any of the storyline. they updated mainly some gameplay stuff. Like you can change your pronouns mid-game. If you've already signed up, you can do join and then your pronouns again, and it'll swap you around. Stuff like that, but there's not been any real story-based stuff. But yeah. So this is going to slowly build up. Nope, it still says it in the upper left corner there. New Dynasty. Players who own the game can type... It still very quickly says that. Welcome. I'm assuming that's Shadow Gamers. Welcome, welcome. It will be randomly generated if you don't own the game. If you own the game, you have your customization, but otherwise it is random. So, a lot of you may not know how this works. Some of you may know how this works. We're just going to do our best to try and generally get through this game in a way that explains things, but I do want to give everybody time to kind of join in, because we just went live not long ago, right? So we're going to sit here for a little while. Oh, this time you got hair. Oh yeah, you were, weren't you? I forgot about that. I forgot about the baldness thing. But no, we haven't played this in like 2 years, so it's been a while. So I am looking forward to kind of just chill with y'all and seeing what kind of happens and where we end up. But yeah, I will do my best to guide all the new players, because I'm sure a lot of you have never heard of this game, and I know there are some people who are like devout to this game and may fully understand it. I'm going to do my best to help people kind of understand things. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna guide anybody towards any plot lines. I'm going to try and be fairly hands-off on plotline direction, just kind of let you guys go where you want to go, because we completed most of the goals when we played last. Like, let me pull this up. Actually, there's a lot of achievements I don't have, interestingly. It doesn't really matter, but yeah. I think these are more just achievements that we didn't get, because I think when we first played it, there weren't achievements, and then we did them beforehand. But I am good with all of that. Yeah, I don't see any... I don't see anything that leads me to feel that there's anything new. They are coming out with a new game, like, you know, in like a couple weeks, though, which is pretty cool. It is not a community-driven one, so it's not on that same line. That's awesome, Shadow. It's a really well-made game. I loved this game. We played it weekly for a couple months, which was great. How you doing, Mousy? But yes, it's !join, followed by your pronouns if you want to play along. Make sure you have the extension. The extension can help you out if you need to remember some of your goals. If you're on desktop, it should be it's on this side behind my head. If you don't have the little icon up here, which is a little diamond up in the corner around this spot, there is a square on the right side you need to click on, and you need to grant that permission to your account. And if you grant that permission, then you should get the diamond over here. The diamond will be whatever group you are with, and it will remind you of what your goal is, and it'll tell you how much money you have in your own personal wallet. That is the one big thing I can tell you, is just be aware of that. Your wallet will be up there. That is really all you're gonna have on that in that little bit. It will do its best to balance this based on who it thinks is an active player. So if people join late, it'll most likely grab them to the grandees. But if somebody, like, say Anu had to leave, right, and Anu no longer is playing, if Anu is no longer playing, then it would go, there's 3 here, and 4 here, and then it might consider these equal. So there's some balancing that takes place, and it may look weird at some point. You might end up with one of these groups having like 20 people and some having 3. But they should still have the same number of active people in the end, which is how that is designed to work. But it is a really, really good game. It's really well done. We only really stopped playing it because we kind of did all the plot lines that were there at the time. There was no real secret plot lines left. There was nothing making us go, yeah, let's do that. How dare! We've already decided we hate me. I see how it is. Sadness. No. Generally speaking, though, y'all do your goal is to take over the throne. That is your goal for at least the first round, is to take over the throne. So no matter how you look at it, your goal is to take over the throne. That is what you want to do. You are going to be trying to take over, right? That is the whole thing. Oh. But yeah, it just really depends. Like, that's kind of the whole idea, is that you are trying to take over the throne. You want your territory to be the one in charge of the throne, and then after that run, basically, you decide what type of ruler you're going to be, and you basically decide, I'm going to rule my way, whatever, and then the territories do it again. And you rinse, repeat. The territories have the ability to support you, though, if they were part of the winning one previously. We did get it. We did get it, but we did also lose on a 90% chance of success. So yeah, we got screwed on that one. That was quite cruel. But yeah, when we last did this, I was not animated, so it's been quite a while. Hey, Hazy, welcome. So I'm going to do one last pass before we start. Exclamation point join, followed by your pronouns to get put on a team. That's all you got to do. Exclamation point join, followed by your pronouns.
Do I get to devour the monarch if they don't win?
Mari, you are the monarch. Queen Mari of the Appidae dynasty. You're the one. You are the monarch. All right. So I'm assuming everybody's joined that's going to. You can join anytime during this. So again, exclamation join, followed by your pronouns if you want to join. No pressure, but let's hit begin game so we can get this ball rolling, because we were sitting on that screen for about 10 minutes. So let us start with the very simple coronation. Oh, and here's your stats. Just we'll run down this while there's nobody here. So here are the stats. I have 5 authority, 5 stability, and 3,000 treasury. This is default when the kingdom starts. Trade here. Patricians have 7 trade. Patricians here have 7 trade. Counts are leading with farming at 7. Counts are leading with military at 5. The grandees have 7 faith, and then defiance is at 1. My goal is to keep the defiance down, and you all want defiance kind of, you want me to be kind of catering to you, so defiance can be a way for me to try and cater to you, because I want to keep this down. But my general goal is to basically get everything up and keep all of you happy. It's a balancing act. I want to keep everything up, but I want to keep all you happy. Now you are going to get to decide your goals as this goes as a team. So everybody who is part of your own territory will get to decide what your goals are going to be and how they are going to affect things. So let's go to the coronation. Your Majesty, I've scheduled your coronation to take place in a week's time. Shouldn't I be giving the orders now? Of course, Your Majesty, but to delay any longer would make the nobles restless. And when nobles get restless, they take their daggers and look for the nearest back. Well, we wouldn't want that, I suppose. As is tradition, the council will decide what happens at your coronation. What? But it's my coronation. This isn't an absolute monarchy, Your Majesty. Everything has to be run past a council vote, even this. Shall we call the nobles in? Didn't you already join, Anu? What kind of coronation should be held for the new queen? So we can host a lavish parade with jugglers and fountains of wine. Well, yeah, but you were already joined, Otto. You don't stop being in there. You shouldn't stop being in there. It may just not have connected yet. Invite foreign dignitaries and show off our wealth. Throw the queen into the river. And outdated traditions, there's no need for a coronation at all. So these are the options. Now, the way this works, if you guys end up voting for A, because you'll do exclamation point, or I think you do exclamation point vote and then the letter, I can't remember. But you can see here. So if you host a lavish parade with jugglers and fountains of wine, it will cost me $1,000 from the treasury, and it will improve stability. If we invite foreign dignitaries to show off the wealth, it takes 1,000, increases our trade across the board, and it gives you all $900. If you throw me into the river, it increases stability and lowers my authority. Or outrage traditions, there's no need for coordination at all, which will lower authority. Now, I can choose to veto one. And I think on this one, I don't really have a lot of votes anyway, so I'm just going to select the Monarch's vote. And I am going to choose, because I think it's more interesting, and that's 1,800. I thought that was 1,000, so I would lose almost all my money. But I'm going to choose that one. I'm going to choose the one that takes almost all my money, and that's where I'm going to start. But now you can vote with exclamation point vote A, B, C, or D, and you can pick whichever one you'd like, whichever one you feel you would want to do most. You don't currently have goals set, so that kind of changes the way things go. You haven't picked a goal for yourself. So you might end up having a goal. So you need to just be aware of this. But this gives all of you some money. And I find this to be the interesting part of this is mainly where you all decide to send your money between every other round. You get to vote on a structure which changes the storyline. And you'll basically get to choose those storylines based on this. And that will unlock, like, we could vote to open a prison, and then that prison will have a storyline related to it. Or you might vote to have something for the churches. It changes things, right? So that's definitely the winner here. So we're going to invite foreign dignitaries and show off our wealth. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. So yeah. The 6 nobles and the monarch voted to invite foreign dignitaries and show off our wealth. Now, this is going to cost me a lot of money. I'm down to 1,200. I'm okay with this. Dignitaries arrive from all corners of Celestath, and it's only appropriate you show off. A trained eagle drops a ruby-encrusted crown atop your head as you stand on a golden podium. The awed crowd includes such influential figures as the Dukes of Sal, the Princes of Tavalin, and even a pearl bearer from Atesh. Lucrative trade deals are struck at the evening's feast. So everybody's trade went up. And then it says some, I believe all of you gained 900, which gave you all a bit more. So, hey Nix. So yeah, so basically all of your trade improved. This can be really good. This is probably best for the patricians here because the patricians usually have a trade plot line. So you'll kind of see what's going on as this goes. And welcome Shadow. Thank you for the check-in. Only the Grand Pensionary of Kurth is not in attendance. The Republic, after all, is fundamentally opposed to the very concept of a monarchy. Alright, so this is our map. You can see everybody's region here. The patricians usually end up along this side somewhere. So they ended up with this bit of territory. The Grandees got a very large swath of land. And then, Jesus, the Counts got... This is interesting. The amount of land everybody got is a bit different than I've seen. So this is pretty interesting. I like this. I like this bit of territory that we got here. Yeah, usually the Grandees are like cut off like right here at their biggest, and then like it's typically just like this section here. I don't usually ever see Grandees take that much, so that is pretty cool. All right, let's do our council introduction. Now that you're queen, your first duty is to meet with the Council of Nobles. Your nobles hail from all across the kingdom, the desolate east, the wealthy coast, and of course, the scorching south. So let's just start from the top. We'll introduce ourselves as the Counts of the East. Here we have Cold. Welcome, Cold Dawn. An honor to finally make your acquaintance, Your Grace. May you escape the doom that befell your predecessor. Okay, now let's meet the patricians. Pleasure, and here we have Shadow Mousy. A pleasure, Your Esteemed Highness. I hope to see our kingdom prosper and grow wealthy under your reign. And the Grandees, here we have Dor. May the ninth god bless your reign, Your Holiness. I trust you will conduct yourself with honor and faith. Nice and simple. Council hall immediately fills with raised voices as the nobles argue with each other and demand your favor. This is more interesting on second run because you'll get ones commenting on what happened previously a little bit. You sigh and sit back. Is this what the council's like? No wonder your father told you to avoid the throne at all costs. Yeah, one of the classic things is fuck the patricians. Patricians, I think, only won one time in our whole thing, and everything that happened basically fucked them over. So fuck the patricians was a very standard calling card. So if you are a patrician, you are in a bit of a challenge zone. I will say that much. Your Majesty, when you die, how do you hope the kingdom will remember you? See, now I get to look at this as an interesting thing. So I can do military, stability, authority, farming, trade, or faith. Now, looking at everything right now, we have 20 points here. We have 18 here. We have 12 here. No matter what I look at, trade is the best one for me. So trade is where I'm going. This will be the Architect of a New Age. Trade is the best one for me to try and do out of all of these. Authority, though, basically trade or authority, because authority's at 5. I could try and push that up, but trade is an interesting one because that does help people. And usually it's better if I at least have at least one group on my side, and patricians are typically trade. So it's in my best interest if I go for trade. A lofty goal indeed. I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving the kingdom's overall trade as much as possible. Yeah, it was one off. It's fine. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. Okay. General point was this one's a lot higher than everything else. If we were close, I would have double checked, but all right. So that is it. This is how the first season starts. There's nothing else here. We can zoom in. We can get a better view of the terrain. We can see. You know, I don't think the South has ever had so many trees. All right. Now, one thing I want to check, because I never paid attention to this before. I'm wondering if, as you guys vote in buildings, if we'll see them in here. That'd be very interesting. I never looked, but now I want to know. So it looks like you all have, looks like 2 churchy buildings and 2 square buildings. And then we've got a churchy building and nothing else. We got two fortresses. I'm intrigued. I've never paid that much attention, but I am now curious. All right, so we're going to hit end session, or end season, sorry. Delvira of the Imoru dynasty, well-known Eastern enigma, leans delicately on a podium, sighing. My fellow counts, in ancient times the East was its own proud kingdom. We can bring back those days of glory, but not while the false queen Mari wears the crown. Alright, so this is for the East. You have to vote now, but I don't think it's automatically ended. So what scheme should the counts pursue to overthrow the new throne and place their preferred claimant Delvira on the throne? So you can pick here. You can lower the stability. You can lower your own defiance, which is this, which is almost as low as it goes. Or you can also lower your own defiance, which is that. So you can try and put a doppelganger on the throne. You can try to possess me. Or you can try to do subterfuge and flip things. So you can vote if you are part of their group. On this, you can vote for which one you want. It looks like you're all going for possession. So yeah, you've got a good advantage here because you already are on 1 defiance. You really can't go much lower. But you are your goal is basically to become buddy-buddy with me. So we already know it's going to be this. So I'm just going to hit continue. Voting is closed. What scheme should the counts pursue to overthrow the new queen and place their preferred claimant on the throne? Yep, so your goal is to be buddy-buddy for a bit. Ow. The counts plan to summon a demon to possess the queen, putting her totally under their control. First, they must lull the queen into a false sense of security. To advance their scheme, the counts must lower their defiance to 4 or less in 2 seasons. So you've pretty much got a guarantee here, right? You've pretty much got a guarantee. Unless somehow your defiance raises to 5, you've got the first one in the bag. This is an easy shot. So you can see here it is marked with a purple diamond and a checkbox. That purple diamond and checkbox means that this is your goal, is the purple, and check means you've already completed your goal. Zenoviva of the Hazy Daisy lineage, eccentric southern firebrand, stands bathed in sunshine speaking softly. So, a false pretender occupies the throne while my claim is ignored. Grandees of the South, this is a stain on our honor. We must not allow it to go unanswered. So now your vote, you can use sorcery to raise authority. So your goal would be to raise authority here. You're going to use sorcery. You could raise the treasury, which is for an uprising. Or you could do a witch hunt, which is by having the highest faith, which you already have the highest faith. So that would be an easy start goal with witch hunt. So I'm assuming we're going for highest faith because it is the balance for the defiance that's already been hit by the counts. You're making sure that, okay, if they've already got theirs, we need to already have hers. So I'm assuming that is the idea there. Voting is closed. Boobadoo. There's all sorts of heresy in the capital, and the Grandees intend to expose it. First, they must ensure the South is beyond reproach. To advance their scheme, the Grandees must be the region with the highest faith in 3 seasons. So you are currently doing this. You could lose this, because you have to have the highest out of everybody, and the patricians are pretty high, or you might lose it. So that is an interesting little balance there. So this could be lost, and it's a little bit slower than the counts. But that usually means you will have a faster one later. They usually all take about the same number of turns, but the pacing of it is different, so. Cyril of the Larmouth family, powerful coastal entrepreneur, scribbles with a well-used quill on a hardwood desk, explaining in measured prose. Hey, Bunny. Fellow patricians of the coast, my claim to the throne is far more legitimate than that of Queen Mari. Something must be done. So you can raise stability with intimidation. You can do conspiracy, lower the treasury, which is already fairly low, or you can use corruption to lower authority, which again, 5. So these two are pretty basic. Lowering the treasury has a set here. This is patricians only, but you can choose on this one. Now, for those who do not know, again, if you have just joined, you can do exclamation join followed by your pronouns, and this will put you in. If you are playing over here on the right side around this area, there is a diamond on your screen. That diamond will be the color of your group. You will have green, purple, or gold. If you do not see that extension on desktop, it is over on the right side. If you are playing on mobile, you can still play along. It is all done via text chat anyway, but that just gives you a reference to where you are. So yes, again, exclamation point join followed by your pronouns if you want to join in. You could end up on the patricians and getting a vote, a chance to sway here if you have just joined in. Anybody can join at any time at all. It is pinned as well as an instruction, but yeah. But it looks like right now the goal is going to be to lower the treasury right here. Again, 1,200. We've only got 2 patricians who are active, so they might have some trouble in the votes, so be aware of that. Oh, there are 3. We got 3 active. Okay. What scheme should the patricians pursue to throw over? They are going to do conspiracy. The patricians plan to sink the queen under an ocean of debt. To advance their scheme, the patricians must lower the treasury to 1,500 or less in 3 seasons. Now, I do want to kind of cover something really quick just to make this understood here. While these are the goals, you not only want to do your goal, but you want to stop everybody else's. So you would all want to vote for things that would make like the defiance of the counts go up, or the faith of the Grandees go down, or your own go up. Basically, you want to stop them from meeting their goals. So the patricians want to keep the treasury below 1,500, so or below 1,600, and so everybody else would want to try and raise the amount of money here. So I have to try and do things that'll get all of you to fail. You want to pick things that will only get your opponents to fail. I hope that makes sense. That's kind of the general idea here, is you're just trying to keep the others down and yourself doing better. That's the whole thing. And then my goal is to make it so everybody stays down, but not enough to riot. Yeah, there are odd ones that can be hard to do here, but yeah. It's very easy to lose when it comes to money, so I do try to be stingy if I have less, if I'm low. So it can be messy. All right, so I get to pick a new thing. Now I can do anonymous voting, which doesn't matter too much. We have Royal Gamble, plus 600 treasury if the nobles vote for the selected option. If the nobles vote otherwise, we lose 200. Or if nobles vote for the monarch's choice, they gain 500 personal wealth. So this is what we call bribery, which is usually the one I pick. this one basically says if you vote for the option I pick, you get 500 extra gold to vote for new facilities that can help sway things. And it is the one I am grabbing because it's the smart one to grab. Basically, I can help kind of control a vote with these. I get the ability to veto once per round. I get to say this is the one I'd like, which gives an extra vote, and then I get that, which can give you extra money. So, but I have to use them wisely myself. So, let's see. I wish there was a way to like, so I can see like what your schemes are here. Ah, here we go. Here's the noble list right now. So we currently have Imoru, Anu, Cold, and Shadow on the counts. We have Rose, Door, Dragon, and Hazy on the grandees. We have Icy, Larmith, Neku, and Mousy, and Bunny on the patricians. So just so everybody can see themselves, here's Imoru. Here is Anu. Here is Cold. Here is Shadow. Then we have Rose, Door, Dragon, Hazy, Icy, Larmith, Neku, Mousy, and Bunny. So there y'all go. Now you know what you look like. You can also see your, I think we can see, yeah, you can see your money here. It's kind of tiny, but everybody has 1,300 right now, except for Bunny, who joined a bit late after that first vote. So Bunny is a little broke, comparatively. All right, honor guard. One evening, you're sitting up in bed, reading some paperwork, when a filth-encrusted peasant wanders into your bedchamber as bold as brass. Hello, your majesty. Glad I finally found you. This bloody place is a maze. Mind if I take a seat? Who are you? Oh, me? Name's Ralph, your majesty. Pleased to meet you. Listen, I got a bloody great idea for you. What if we tied some bunch of birds to a knight? I reckon you could field some aerial troops and totally dominate the battlefield. It's one of many flying options. This has happened like 4 different ways. I've seen this one end like 4 different ways. Before Ralph can explain further, your marshal bursts into the bedchamber, sword drawn. Your Majesty, I'm sorry I didn't come sooner. I have no idea where the palace watch are. Do you want me to kill this intruder? No, I want to hold a vote on his proposal. Whatever you say, Your Majesty. She goes and gathers up your council, who trickle into the hall in their pajamas, rubbing sleep from their eyes. They don't look particularly pleased to be woken up. So, should we experiment with tying birds to knights for the purpose of aerial combat? Pilot program will be held in the south, in the east, in the coast, or no, this is stupid. So, if you pick this, the military will go down in whatever region is picked. The Defiance will go up for whatever region is picked. And my authority goes down no matter what. Okay? Or if you say this is stupid, everybody's Defiance goes up and that's it. So you could vote. There is actually a chance. There is a chance that it doesn't happen. It's weird. It doesn't tell you there's a chance on this, but there is a chance things actually go well. It's weird. Now, here's the deal. Again, this is all of these lower authority. Now, you could pick not to do this for yourself. You could vote for them to do it in somebody else's nation if you want to raise their defiance. So, this is a situation of, like, the counts want low defiance. So you could all vote to do this on the east, which is the counts, and then as B would raise their defiance, which would go against their goal. They're the only ones that need it right now, so I am mentioning that. Now, I'm going to make this interesting for y'all. I am going to veto. You are not allowed to say no. So you have to pick a nation to do this. I have vetoed the ability to say no. So now you get to vote A, B, or C. Boom. Have fun. It's more fun to veto the ones. It's more fun to veto these ones because it's just silly. You can also choose not to vote. That is true. So I want to mention this as well. This is something we've done before. There is no requirement to do this, and I know some of you may be very attached to your name color. But in chat, you can do /color, and you can do /color green, /color yellow, /color purple and you could be that color in chat, so that way it's easier for people to tell what group you are a part of. I don't remember the exact names of the colors. I think if you do /color, it tells you what they are, but sometimes people like to do that to show what group they are in. I do like this. Everybody has voted to pilot in the East, except for the East, who all agreed to do it on the coast for the patricians. Yes, and the pilot program will be held in the East. There is a very slim chance that this will work. Under Alf's close supervision, a flock of ravens are tied to an Eastern night. Instead of flying, the night is lost in a flurry of mad pecking and pooping. Ralph insists you merely use the wrong type of bird. Further experiments are conducted with owls, eagles, geese, woodpeckers, ostriches, and little grebes before hundreds of Eastern troops quit in disgust. So the military dropped by 2 in the East, and their defiance has gone up by 1. Yeah, you can also click the settings gear for chat and go to identity and change it there if you would like. You can't rebel. You can't rebel. Not yet. Authority is not dubious. Now, you are able to rebel if the authority is ever lower than the defiance, I believe. Your Majesty, if that peasant had been a maniac with a crossbow, I dread to think what could have happened. If one thing's clear from this mess, it's that you need an honor guard who can actually keep you safe, not like the pathetic watch. Think carefully, Your Majesty. These guards' loyalties will be divided between you and their region. Of course, you could just hire foreign mercenaries. They'd be loyal to coin above all. Hey, Block! So before I do this, let's see where Block ended up. Block ended up in the Grandees. So Grandees, you got another voice. Okay. Now, I'm going to see the knights so y'all can see them. We're going to see the Eastern Knights here. The Order of the Drowned Rose are highly respectable. They'll understand palace etiquette, but it's been years since they fought an actual battle. Yeah. Oh, it's both. Sorry, thank you, Shadow. So if Defiance is higher than Authority and Stability. They mostly write poems these days. And then we have the Coastal Gladiators, a gang of lowborn crooks who've turned themselves into celebrities through their skill at chopping other people to bits. They're vain and selfish. Their skill in battle is undeniable, but can you trust them? And we have the Battle Nuns! Everybody loves the Battle Nuns. Terrifying words, and they're sworn to vow of silence, so at least they won't spill state secrets. But their faith and loyalty to the church is above all, even your safety. So, these are the ones that I would typically want here. And this is a problem. Because they have very high faith right now, which they are more prone to defending the church than they are me. So if I were to pick them, we'd have a problem. Foreign mercenaries cost a lot of money that I cannot afford to do. So I really do need to pick y'all, because that's 1,000 away, and I'd be down to 200, and I would have no chance. Yeah. So, I think in this case right now, I am going to go with the patricians. Which is a weird one, but I'm going to go with the patricians. I could also say no honor guard at all, and that's a separate issue. But I feel like the patricians are the one I'm going to go with here. I don't usually choose the patricians as my defense. I didn't want to choose the East because, again, they want to stay below 5. So I didn't want to choose the counts because that would have hurt me. South going up 1 is fine, and then yeah, so. The gladiators arrive a few weeks later. The men are bare-chested and the women underdressed, eager to show off their bodies as much as their weaponry. They gather behind your throne and begin oiling themselves up. Shadow, I'm one of the people who push fuck the patricians as a plot line in our group, so no. Okay, so wait. Am I blind? Why do I only have 2 events? I only have 2 events. We didn't do a patricians one. That wasn't a plot line though. That was the start of the season. That one just did itself. I didn't pick one. But yeah, missing bees. Yeah, well, yeah, but it feels weird when that's like kind of the mandated one. Excellent. Oh, sorry. Your Grace, terrible news from the east. The bees have vanished. Excellent. You can have outdoor picnics in peace. But my breakfast, honey. All the bees? All of them, all across the east. We counts rely on bees for our honey trade. But worse, in the east, bees are bringers of good fortune. We look after them, and they look after us. It's a grim omen indeed if they've deserted us. Our peasants are scared. We've offended the bees somehow. We must track them down. Bees come and go. Let nature take its course. Send messengers to investigate other regions. Or ask the peasants if they noticed anything wrong. And so we could do nothing, which oddly increases their trade. Actually, I think that increases trade of it just increases trade, but lowers farming, and it will raise their defiance. We could send messengers to investigate other regions, which just lowers their defiance. Or we could ask the peasants if they knows anything. Now I can't choose that one. I could do a golden vote. Ow. I am going to do a standard vote here. I'm going to do a standard vote. And I am just going to ask the peasants if they've noticed anything. That's my vote. But y'all could easily outdo me here. Hey, Clue. So you can vote for whatever you want. I am voting to raise stability, lower authority. But everything is available here. The counts obviously want to lower their defiance because they are threatened by that goal being met. It does look like defiance is going to raise. It looks like trade is going to raise and farming is going to reduce. Currently at 5. It could be outdone. How many people? We have 14 nobles. It could still be outvoted, but yeah, everybody. I usually wait a little bit longer just so people can catch up. It could be. I mean, we're gonna find out. Farming is now fruitful, so farming has gone down. As the eastern beehives languish empty, eastern peasants start sewing bee emblems onto their shirts in a vain effort to bring them back. Still, other nobles profit from the situation. The counts had quite the monopoly on honey, and this has given them a chance on the market. So trade has gone up in the coast and the south. And then defiance has gone up by 1. So they are 1 away from not being able to go. Fear grows more and more amongst the counts, who complain that the crown cares nothing for their troubles. All right, dangerous roads. Your Highness, the merchants in the south are complaining about bandits. The southern roads are too dangerous to travel, even with guards. Gangs of highly organized, well-armed highwaymen will ambush merchant caravans and steal absolutely everything. So, what could be done about the bandits plaguing southern roads? We could pay a mercenary company, which is all of the money, and increases trade. We could make a few empty promises and hope this all goes away. Lowers trade and raises defiance. This is most likely only raising it for the south, mind you. Send a battle-hardened regiment to rout the bandits, 30% military, or offer a bounty on their scalps, which costs 800 from the treasury. This is not good. So in order to give myself a fighting chance here, I'm going to do the Monarch's Choice. I'm going to do the Monarch's Choice, and I'm going to do it for make a few empty promises. So, if you vote for make a few empty promises, you will get 500 of your personal wealth added on. So your own little wallet over here. That is what I have voted for here. This will lower trade in the region and increase defiance. But that's where my vote's going. So that is where I am weighing odds. Vote B for extra money. And just to note, if the treasury gets lowered, you're helping the patricians. So you don't want to help the patricians. This is kind of an important thing. Lowering the treasury is good for the patricians, but they also get money by voting for this. So it's a weird spot here. Right, because the patricians want me broke. It's still pretty close. Waiting just a little bit longer. Doot, doot, doot. All right. Voting is closed. A few weeks later, you hear word. Now you can communicate in chat. This is important. If y'all want to argue against what I'm saying or have your own arguments for what you're doing, mentioning in chat what you think is best for your team is a good idea. So I just please do talk amongst yourselves as well. A few weeks later, you hear word from the south. The bandit problem is worse. The outlaws are ever more daring, and merchants are too afraid to send their goods outside the city walls. Trade has decreased by 2. Defiance has gone up by 1 for the south. So that is the end of that season. Now, this is an auction. Now, this is something I want you all to understand here. Every 2 seasons, you get to vote here. Now, you get to vote on these things, and this will change the plot lines that you get in your regions. Your money carries continuously through them, but the goal is for the top 2, the top 2 things here are the only ones that are going to be done. So, and they also do it for that region. So this says farming increase. This is a farming increase for the counts. This is a military increase for the counts. This is a faith increase for the grandees. This is a trade decrease for the grandees. This is a stability increase, and this one, because its stability affects everyone, this is a stability decrease. So out of these, again, the patricians are after treasury. So patricians don't really get anything here. Patricians have nothing. So patricians are in a spot where they really want to attack others. The grandees are after faith, so they would want to. The grandees likely would want to increase faith to make sure they stay in this spot. So C is the ideal one for grandees. Now the counts right now are defiant, so they could just increase themselves. They could increase their military, they could increase their farming, or they could try and slide their votes around to keep, say, the grandees from getting more faith, right? Or you can just hold out. You also have the option to not pay is also an option if you don't want to vote anything. You could just drop $100 into something and see what goes, things like that. Or you can increase stability for me. You can decrease stability for me. You have options, right? So this is kind of the idea. You get to pick here. If y'all just hate the grandees, you can all put like 100 into the Thieves Guild and just destroy the grandees and make sure they lose trade. That's also an option. Well, because prisons lower stability because you are basically saying, I'm going to lock you away forever, is the idea. That's why it lowers stability. All right, this is open. In order to do this, it's exclamation point fund, and then which one you want to fund, and then the amount. Just like Bunny did, fund D 300 funds the cathedral 300. So you actually have to pick how much of your money you're dropping in. You all had about 1,800. Some of you had 1,300. Some of you had 1,000. But which I guess I can open this list and you can kind of see the numbers. They're tiny though. But you've got plenty of time to do this. So yeah, this is how this works. So yeah, you can add even more funds if you want. You can add funds to multiple projects if you want. You have all those options available to you. So just doing 100 is more than enough. Right now, it's going to be both grandees things. Now, there's also a note here. Grandees, you should probably stop putting money into C. You've already clearly got it. If you keep putting money in, you're just throwing away your money into a project you've already funded. There's a certain point of education. I will warn on the first one. I will not warn on the later ones, basically. So yes, this increased their faith by 1 already, you can see, and it lowered their trade by 1. Okay, let's do overrun by bandits first. Every day, more bandits attack our roads in the south. We're overrun with scoundrels and outlaws. I've looked into this, Your Majesty. A leader of sorts has emerged from among the rabble. For now, the lawless scum do his bidding. Tell me more. He calls himself Thomas Greensleeves, and he claims to steal from the rich and give to the poor. By the 9th, have you ever heard such nonsense? The local The local villagers idolize him. They're singing ballads about him, turning him into a legend, and they won't hesitate to let his men hide amongst them when the sheriff comes knocking. Who cares who he is? We need to kill him and teach the others a lesson. So, we do not have the money to place a hefty bounty. So, A is off limits. Send a spy to join the bandits and find the location of their hideout, which would lower their trade and raise the defiance of their people. Tempt one of the bandits to rat out their leader. Lowers trade, raises defiance. These both do the same thing. Or mount a smear campaign to discredit Thomas Green Thieves. And this is based on authority. Now, I don't see any benefit to raising defiance in the south. Or lowering their trade. But I don't see this doing anything. So I am just going to let people vote for whatever they want this time. Y'all can vote for whichever one you want. I would say the South don't want B or C, because that's going to hurt them. Unless they were trying to raise defiance right now, but right now that's not their goal. We don't know what happens with D. D is a coin toss. Mostly a coin toss. There's still plenty of time to vote. I'm not going to just end the timer, so if you still want to put in your votes, because it's pretty close right now. Only 10 people have voted. There are 4 people who have not voted. There are 3 people who have not voted. Bum, bum, bum. Here's what I mean. It's very close. I like how the people who have voted B are the people who think this is the best option, just as a concept. And then the people who have voted D are like, we don't want to lower our trade. We're already losing trade. Neku, you were already in this, weren't you? You can't join again. You're already here. All right, looks like D has won. You launch a smear campaign across the kingdom, which has failed. Town criers shout about Thomas Greensleeves. Bandits are cannibals and sadists. Posters denounce him as a devil-worshipping warlock. It doesn't work. Why should the common folk believe you over the hero Greensleeves? He steals from the rich and gives to the poor. Authority has gone down by 1. You hear a rumor that Greensleeves is planning a response to your attempted smears. A stinging problem. Having ignored the bees' troubles in the east, you practically forgot about the situation. Until Grandee Blockade stamps in, their face swollen and covered with stings. Those damned counts, I bet they sent those bees just to trouble us. I did wonder what was going on with your face. Yes, it's terrible. By all that is holy, these bees must be destroyed. No one dares to go outside. Our markets are ruined. Blood and stars, these bees are our livelihood. If they're killed, they'll bring bad luck to us all. Then you should have taken better care of them, shouldn't you? So we could focus on luring them back to the east, which would mess with defiance, which I believe this increases the defiance of the south and lowers it at the counts. And then it decreases farming, I think, for just the grandees. Destroy the bees in the south, which will lower faith. Cough, cough. And mess with defiance. Or we can get the church to help heal the peasants, which does go pretty well for the South given their faith, but I think it also increases their faith. So, out of these, I am going to use my veto. And I'm going to say you can't lure them back to the east. No. You can lure them back to the east if you want. The counts probably want their bees back. So, the counts want their bees. You could just try to lower the faith in the south, or you could have the church do it. So Grandees definitely can do well with the church. They've got plenty. There's a very good chance that succeeds. Destroying the bees pisses off the counts, makes the Grandees feel better, but lowers the Grandees' faith. Or we focus on luring the bees back to the east, which lowers farming here in the south and raises defiance of the south and helps out the counts. The whole mess. Anyway, vote away. Boobity boop. really, this is a pretty split one, right? Because you do, the South would want to keep the bees. This is what I expected. This is a pretty balanced thing, right? Because everybody's gonna kind of pick their own region. And I don't end it right away because I know that some of you might be delayed. I'm not gonna rush anybody based on their timing. So every region has kind of picked their thing, but it does need the votes. The counts want their bees back. The patricians hate the grandees and want to lower their faith. And the church wants the church wants to use the church. I'm gonna wait just a little bit longer because I know not everybody's voted. We got 15 people playing. But we've only got 10 votes in, so there's 5 of you left. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boop. Nope, you took too long, Icy. Sorry. Grandee Blockade looks pleased and bows, hurrying away to summon some priests. Not every priest is happy about the risk of stinging, but enough attend to the peasants to get them in better shape. For work, soon the markets have returned to normal. So 8 succeeded, the faith has gone up to 9, and trade is now prosperous. Okay. Next up, we have finding a spouse. Welcome, Trench. Just check where Trench ended up. Trench has joined... where? Trench has joined the patricians. In the twisty passages of your castle, you can avoid your advisors, the nobles, even the spy master, but there's one person you can't avoid. Your mother. Why haven't you found a spouse yet? It's been almost a year. But mother, I don't want to get married. Nonsense, a queen cannot rule alone. Don't worry, I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What is your preference? Men, women, do not mind. And he's fine. Excellent, I'll send out messengers to the most influential noble families in the kingdom. Let's see what they have to offer. Okay. That is the end of the season. End season. Hidden in a labyrinth beneath an eastern castle, a pair of counts meet to speak of their schemes against the queen. The Chancellor sent me a fruit basket last week to thank us for our efforts in helping the crown. It's working. Our reputation is secure. Our problem now is the Archbishop. His beady little eyes will be focused on us if we're not careful. You must evade him at all costs. For the next stage of the scheme, the counts must lower their faith to 4 or less, which they're already at 4, in 4 seasons. So, but they have to last for 4 seasons here. So, everybody who isn't a count wants to raise their faith by at least 1. Now, I can set different taxes for different groups. For each region, or bribe them to keep them sweet. Each option has defined treasure. So I can go here and say, well, what if I bribe them? It'll cost my treasury 700 though. And in doing so, it'll lower them by 1. And I could be cruel to the patricians here, because there's no defiance here. Or I could go here and just do this and raise them, because we help them out a lot. Their trade is very high. And I could gain. Or I could just be a dick and do this across the board and get a lot of money. Now the catch here, and the main reason I am doing this one, and I know this sounds mean, but the main reason I'm doing this is because I know that they want my treasury to be below 1,500. And I don't want that. So, this is what I am doing here. I'm sorry, patricians, but fuck you. Fuck the patricians. All right. A curious curse. Oh no. The curse. A giant glass globe filled to the brim with murky water is wheeled before the council. Oh, this is the fish one. No, this is the fish one. Filled to the brim with murky water is wheeled before the council. The fishbowl contains Lady Patrician Bunny. Bunny, you've become a fish. Congratulations. Suspended in liquid, she pokes her head above the surface. Your august majesty, glub glub. A most infuriating circumstance has befallen me, glub glub. I can see that. I've been, glub glub, cursed by a sea wizard. He inflicted me with these glub glub gills, so I can't leave the water for more than a couple glub glubbing minutes. Oh, Crabdo is a fun one. Crabdo currency is great. What did you do to anger this wizard? I happen to own a tannery that is glub glub polluting some picturesque beaches he likes. How was I supposed to glubbing know? I demand you arrest this maniac and force him to glub remove these gills. Send a squad of coastal soldiers to arrest the wizard, which would lower military. Send a diplomat to politely ask the wizard to reverse the curse. Close down Lady Patrician Bunny's tannery, which would raise defiance, lower their wealth, and lower their trade. Or send the wizard a hamper of fine cheese and a bottle of wine. So we could be a complete dick to Bunny here and just give the wizard a reward. We could close down the tannery, which would lower their trade, which they have plenty of trade right now. It would take a whole bunch of money from the patricians and raise their defiance. The diplomat continues a plot line, I believe. And then, or we could send a squad of coastal soldiers to arrest the wizard. Now, because it's a plot line, and I was just a dick to the patricians, I'm going to use my golden choice here, which means that you get some money here if you vote for this. And I am going to vote to ask the wizard. I'm going to vote to talk to the wizard. That is my vote. Well, that is what I am giving money in my wallet for. So C is the dick move to the patricians, but B gives you money and doesn't progress the plot line yet. Okay, it's clearly B. We've already got over half the votes. I could just end this. We've got, but here's the thing: if you don't get your vote in, you don't get the money. You have to vote for it to get the money. So do I wait? Do we wait? Almost time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ba-ba. Soon enough, the sea wizard appears before the council. As he walks in, seawater sloshes at his feet, welling up from the ground itself. What do you want from me? We need to reverse the curse afflicting Lady Bunnyman. And why would I do a thing like that? Her tannery's ruining my favorite beach. I don't curse for nothing. Pay you 1,000 gold. No. I'll order her to shut down the stupid old tannery, which does the other option anyway. You know what, Lady Patrician Bunny can stay a fish person for all I care. I'll order her to shut down the stupid tannery. You do that. The wizard's flesh bulges and ripples and turns suddenly to water, splashing down in your corridor. He's left with you quite a cleanup job. After your soldiers close down the tannery and destroy its vats, the nearby beach returns to its former beauty and Lady Patrician Bunny recovers from the curse. So, what has happened here is you all still, okay, the only money lost right here, the 250 was lost from Bunny, no one else. So only Bunny lost money. Defiance is now aloof. So Defiance went up a little bit, and only Bunny lost money. But your trade has gone down a little bit. Sure, a few hundred jobs are lost, but it's a small price to pay. Lady Patrician Bunny appears in the council hall a few days later, back to her old self, though she has a case of the hiccups that persist for several months. Dealing with the swarm. Your Holiness, some good news from the south about that bee problem. The priests have been making up herbal ointments for treating stings. And they think they discovered some new anti-venom that's even more effective, but we don't have enough to test it properly. We could have the crown contribute, which lowers the treasury, which helps out the patricians. The Southern Church is on its own for this one. 90% chance with faith, so that would probably increase their faith to 10. Or no more bee talk. Now, I Again, I don't want to use the money if I don't have to. I forgot. Oh god, I forgot this song here. Sorry, to anybody who's a Final Fantasy X person. This is the most Choose Anarchan song. It's Final Fantasy X. Yeah, patricians, you don't get a chance with me. It is very much fuck the patricians. Patricians have the hardest time to win here. This is interesting. This is really close, actually. It's currently tied. Okay. This is funny to me because I feel like Icy voted for the wrong one and Door voted for the wrong one. So they canceled each other out. But right now it is no more B-Talk. Yeah. There's enough misvotes, but it looks like no more B-Talk. Defiance is now insolent. Now I have to worry. I need to keep my stability up. Is my worry. The grandees mutter grumpily amongst themselves, but they have enough to deal with to complain. The bee swarms are still going strong, and the priests have villagers to heal. Eligible options. I found 3 potential matches for you. 1 eligible young candidate from each kingdom. Yeah, I know. Your mother leads you to the Great Hall, where she's arranged with 3 candidates. All right, let's see the eligible candidates. She whisks away the cloth from the first portrait. This is Valentina, the eldest daughter of the Eastern Nixcat dynasty. According to the counts, she's a little naive, but that may just be compared to the utter ruthlessness of the Eastern courts. A very pious young lady, half the East are in love with her, apparently, and the other half hate her. Okay, intriguing. From the coast, we have Alpheus, the wealthy heir to Lord Patrician's Trench Droid's estate. He spends most of his time in the solitude of his villa, so I know little about him. I have no information to go off of here. And finally, from the south, Ophelia, the eldest daughter of Blockade's lineage. She's reputed to have an ego the size of the sun, but there's nothing wrong with confidence, right? Like many in the South, she claims to put her faith in the 9th god above all worldly concerns. Fortunately, she lacks the common touch. The peasants have some terrible nicknames for her. Okay, so I am struck between 2. I'm stuck between either the East or the South. Fuck the patricians. I think with what is going on, with what is going on here, currently, I would say the grandees are winning. So choosing the grandees is not necessarily the best thing. But the grandees right now, I would want to, more than anything, lower their defiance.
Anubis Figo Des 23. What type of outfit do you think would suit me here?
I think we are actually going to be going with the South. And finally, from the... Yep. I didn't mean this. I chose the wrong thing. I've made my decision. We are going to go with Ophelia of the South. I forgot that Rose the defiance of the other nations. So that's a bit of a risk. Defiance is now aloof, Defiance is grumbling, Defiance is now aggrieved, blah, blah, blah. Ugh. Okay. That is everything this season. In a picturesque castle overlooking the southern city of Kovana, 2 grandees lie back to enjoy the sun. Praise be! Whispers of our plan have reached the peasants. They hear an uproar. They call for the sins of the queen to be laid bare. So they have reached their level 10. They have completed their little quest to have the highest, which also gave them 1 extra one. I already have leads on information from the inside of the palace that we can use against the queen. It's only a matter of time. We have the High Inquisitor on our side, but we must also sow dissent amongst the other regions. We won't succeed alone. For the next stage of the scheme, the grandees must raise the other regions' defiance to a combined total of at least 8, or ensure another region begins a rebellion in 3 seasons. So, they currently have 8. This is something important. It is at exactly 8. So, if you are part of the counts or the patricians, you really want to lower defiance of either of you two right now. That is a big goal for you because they have already completed 2 of their goal. Well, no, I think that's just their first goal. They've only completed their first one, but you want to keep the defiance down is your big thing. So be aware. And yeah, the wedding will lower everybody by 1, so it should go 1 down, but still. In a dingy seaside tavern, 2 patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. The treasury's not empty. The queen won't be tempted by our loan offers. Maybe we could arrange some kind of heist? Don't get ahead of yourself, Lord Patrician. This coup will be conducted entirely within the bounds of the law. We have our principles after all. The patrician's aim is to lower the treasury to 1,500 or less. They're just reminding you that you have not met your goal yet. So, I can increase my stability if more than half of you vote for a specific option. The monarch can mark their preferred voting option if chosen gain 1 authority. Now, authority is going to be hard for me. I am going to adopt a call for unity. So this will raise stability even more. And I'm going to get rid of the monarch's vote because I don't think you all care. Okay. Let's just start with the wedding and we'll go from here. Your wedding to Ophelia is naturally the talk of the kingdom. Nobles and peasants alike travel from across the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is one giant party. It feels like you're the only one not taking part. Instead, you're getting ready for the ceremony. Soon enough, you're standing in St. Bertrand's Cathedral with Ophelia at your side. Do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? Just raise the defiance of everybody. I do. Then I pronounce you queen and wife. So this dropped everybody's defiance by 1. So now it is only at 6 instead of the 8. This has also raised my authority and my stability by a little bit. By the time you find yourself alone with Ophelia, it's past midnight and you've never felt more tired. What a wonderful occasion that was. A shame the tradition demanded we marry in St. Bertrand's Cathedral. I can assure you the temple of the south are much grander. I hope you're not feeling homesick already. Of course not. I never get homesick. Actually, I can't abide people who waste time dwelling on the past. What are your thoughts on the state of the kingdom? Well, you know, the kingdom looks after itself. Ophelia immediately changes the topic to talk about something she's more interested in. I'm just a humble follower of the Ninth God teaching, and everywhere I look, I'm surrounded by sinners and heathens. I can't wait to laugh at them from the thereafter. Oh god, I've married another twit. That's so interesting! It isn't. Anyway, to continue on the subject. You gently fall asleep to the sound of Ophelia droning on about herself. I've made a mistake. A tasty innovation. I forget what food it is, but we've invented a food. I don't mean to exaggerate, Your Grace, but I believe I have pioneered the most incredible... Oh, it's the sandwich, right? Pioneered the most incredible invention in the history of mankind. I was hosting a small party, playing cards with some old friends. I called for a servant to bring me something to eat that was both tasty and convenient as my hands were occupied. What my servants brought me this evening will change the world forever, Your Highness. Sounds like your servant invented it. Yes, and he's my employee, so I own the idea. It's only fair. Behold! She holds in the air a plate. Atop the plate are 2 slices of bread with a piece of meat wedged between them. It allows the hungry noble to consume 2 slices of bread plus meat all at once, saving valuable time. Is this ingenious? Meanwhile, the bread serves as an impregnable barrier, preventing one's hands from being besmirched by meaty juices. Ingenious, astonishing, magnificent, breathtaking. Naturally, since it is my invention, I propose we name it after me. In a few years' time, I expect everyone to be enjoying a Klumali for lunch. But naturally, this innovation cannot be made available for free. Every time a Clumily is consumed, I expect a small royalty payment. Give Clue the royalty she deserves. No, Clumilies are too delicious to be controlled. Clumily shall receive a one-time reward from the treasury instead. Or the servant should be rewarded instead. What's his name again? So, alright. Alright. Here's the deal. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm gonna make this fun. And I'm just gonna do a call for unity and not pick anything. Have fun! I'm not saying a word. Y'all can see what they do here.
Milkshake brings all the viewers to the yard, and I'm like, they'd better bring Moss.
Very true, Mari. Very true. Hazy. Hazy, you traitor. One of these names is not like the other. One of these names is gold. No. What impresses me here? Like, okay, the patricians chose the one that was beneficial to them. The patricians did the right thing, right? The patricians wanted to lower my treasury because that gets them to their goal, which is why the patricians were voting here, and then you got Larmouth down here. No, it's already over. It's already over at this point, Anu. It's been voted on. I don't think there's any way this is flipping. So, and then we've got the extra vote from Hazy here. And we know Clue is in here. Should Clumily receive royalties for consumption of a Clumily? That is a sentence. Defiance has gone down in the east. From that point forward, everyone is forced to pay a small fee to Clumily whenever they eat anything between 2 slices of bread. Clumily's wealth has increased from 1,500 to 3,000. Clumily can control the next vote if they wish. Other counts are granted an exemption from paying this toll, but patricians and grandees are forced to cough up. Some patricians' wealth has decreased, and some grandees' wealth has decreased. Consequently, despite the deliciousness and convenience of eating Clumilies, it never really catches on bakeries bust across the east. So your trade did suffer as a result. And what do we have here? Your Majesty! This time he's gone too far. Too far, I say! Oh God. Oh God! Wait, no, this is wealth, not treasury. Door, you're about to lose a lot of money. Thomas Greensleeves, of course, the leader of the bandits of the South. Did you not hear what happened to me? I was traveling back to my manor when I was ambushed by Greensleeves and his vile gang. They pointed their bows at me and took everything I had. Everything! Door has gone from 1,800 to 300. And to make matters worse, they blindfolded me, sat me backwards on a donkey, and paraded me through the nearest village, singing songs about how I was the ass of an ass with an ass for a queen. Rude. Hey, Fee, how's it going? Hilarious. I'd like to hear this song. This wasn't a mere robbery with some light satirical accompaniment, your holiness. This was assault and rank treachery. It must be answered with overwhelming force. While Thomas Greensleeves thinks of you as a tyrant, he's going around telling the peasants that the true queen is Grandi Zenoviva. We must hunt down this traitor, but first he spread my wealth around the local peasantry. I demand we take it back by force. Tell Grandi Door that there's nothing to be done, which would raise the defiance in the south. We could compensate, which would lower the treasury by a lot and give it all to Door. Or we could send soldiers to reclaim it, which lowers stability, lowers trade, increases the wealth of Door, and lowers defiance. Well, my vote here... I am going to say there's nothing to be done. Sucks to be you, Door. And then everybody who agrees with me will also get 500 personal wealth. So my vote is A. And y'all get bonus cash if you vote with me. Again with the even split. How does this go? Okay, all the grandees have voted for C. Oh. Oh. Does anybody else want the money from A?
Imoru 100, what type of outfit do you think would suit me here?
You really want a new outfit, don't you, Mari? Is that it for the votes? Okay. Remember, if you are watching and you would like to join, exclamation point join followed by your pronouns, you can join in. It will automatically assign you to a group, and then you can vote along with said group. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boop. Voting tied at 5. I have to break the tie. Man, whatever one will I choose? The one that's worse for me or the one I voted for? But my gold! My precious gold! How am I supposed to buy wine? Your Majesty, my spies stand at the ready to track down the green sleeve troublemaker. Just say the word. I could say leave him be, which is just a bad idea. Or do it, or the word. Witty as ever, Your Majesty. We'll have him within a fortnight. Gasp! He plays Fortnite? Okay. So our current state of things. The East and the South are on tier 2. The patricians are stuck on tier 1 because my money. Our noble list right now, everybody's currency. Klumili is the richest at 3,500 after the sandwich fiasco. Shadow is second richest. And Moru is third richest. Anu is fourth richest. And then Icy is fifth richest. And Larmouth are tied. But yes, anybody can join. Again, exclamation point join followed by your pronouns. If you've not joined in, you can hop in anytime. You also get a free 1,000. Clue, you didn't think of it either. You didn't think of it either, Clue. All right, let's see. We are going to start with the net closes. Your Majesty, my spies have uncovered the location of Thomas Greensleeve's hideout. We must strike quickly before he moves on. This is it, our chance to finally bring an end to the bandit problem. We cannot hire an assassin. We could send as many soldiers as we can, which is a 70% chance, or maybe we should just leave the bandits alone, which is a bad idea. So, I'm gonna do a call for unity. Honestly, I don't see any benefit for anybody in C. Because that'll lower trade and lower authority, but raise defiance of everybody. I guess it's, well, it would raise defiance in the South, I think. So it's not useful for the South. At all, because the South want to raise defiance of the Counts and the Patricians. Yeah. I could have vetoed C, and then it would have forced everyone to vote for the 1, but that doesn't give me much benefit. All we need is, if we get 9 votes, it's sat. I'm pretty sure we're already sat, considering how many votes have come in for everything, but... Neku being contrarian. Oh yeah, I know it's 50% of all voted, but I mean, that would be, I'm saying 9 would be a guarantee, and we were there already. I wouldn't have to hold up for more votes. We can just call it there. My stability has gone up. Bum bum. Thomas Greensleeves and his bandits are hiding out in a little grove deep in the southern woods, swinging down from tree houses and picking blackberries for breakfast. We succeeded. Stability has gone up. It sounds idyllic, or it was until your army got there. The ensuing battle, the trees toppled and the tree houses burned. Greensleeves dies a hero, filled with arrows but still trying to fight. His bandits all perish shortly after, singing one last sorry song as your soldiers do their grim business. Your soldiers suffer minimal casualties. Now at least the roads in the south are safe to travel once more. Trade has gone up to 8 for the grandees. But the common folk are furious at you. They'll continue singing ballads about Thomas Greensleeves for centuries to come, with you in the role of Tyrant Queen. Now, again, I'm after trade. I'm good with this. Alright, the monk. Sadly, they already distributed it to the Porador. Your Majesty, a young southern monk named Giddelfrith seeks an audience. He's writing a book and has a small request. I can vouch for his seriousness. What kind of book? He wants to write the history of your reign, Your Majesty, so future scholars may delight in tales of your wisdom. Yeah, show him in. Thank you for seeing me, Your Majesty. I am writing a history of your reign, but research is costly. I was wondering if you might donate a little to support my efforts. Patricians are behind. Fuck it. Portray me as a living god. Well, I try to be unbiased historian, but for you, Your Majesty, I'll make an exception. I want you 3 to all be a little more even. Thank you for seeing him, Your Majesty. Can't wait to read his book. Oh, Giddelfrith is trying to write a complete history of the kingdom. I doubt it'll be ready until long before we're both dead. That's fine. That continues into, I think, is part of the next thing. Like, this is part of the thing with this game, is plot lines may not end during the current game. They might be in the next game or the next game if you keep doing the dynasty. It's really cool. Like, you can have funding from statues, things like that, trying to recover the economy. It's really cool that it keeps carrying. Greetings, Mari. I've had an idea. As you know, the people of the South are quite pious. As a member of the royal household and an avid adherent to the church myself, I thought I might go back to my homeland for a time to take the opportunity to preach in your favor. Why do this for me? I'm the Queen Consort, don't forget. My success and influence relies upon you. Go forth and teach them to love me. Wonderful, I'll make the preparations immediately. Word spreads fast that the Queen Consort is planning a tour of the South. Thousands flock to the towns and villages where she plans to stop. Unfortunately, they're mostly flocking to throw vegetables. The popularity of the church in the South clearly didn't amount to as much as Ophelia had hoped. Stability went down by 1 and defiance went up. Crap! It's not long before she calls off the tour to return home, her tail tucked between her legs. Your faith is too high! It's voting season. In a dingy seaside tavern, 2 patricians at the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. The treasure is practically empty, and the queen is struggling to fund her ambitions. We're perfectly placed to offer a loan. I lost it, Shadow. Wait, why did you get ads? Did you refresh the stream, Shadow? You cursed yourself with ads? Whap whap. So helpful of us. Indeed, those loan agreements will be as friendly as a bear trap. Absolutely loaded with hidden catches in small print. Now watch me work my magic. Good evening, Noble Patrician. What exactly is the purpose of this meeting? I heard about the Queen's recent money troubles, and I thought we could both benefit. Sign here and here. This agreement does seem fair. Very well signed. The Queen will be pleased. So now I have a bunch of money. The Queen will be pleased. Good night, Noble Patrician, and may the night bless you. Treasury has gone way up. Icy's wealth has decreased by 300. Neku's wealth has decreased by 300. See, easy as pie. It's not enough to bankroll the queen. The rest of the kingdom must be in debt to us as well. To advance the scheme, patricians must have the highest trade of all regions in 3 seasons. They currently do not. So patricians need the grandees to go down by 1, or they need to increase their own by 1, which also helps me. Okay, so now let's see what the auctions have at hand. The counts could lower their own faith, which I believe their goal is to keep their faith down, yes? Lower your own faith to 4 or less by next season. So in theory, something could happen to raise their faith in their region where they would want this, so counts would probably want this. We have a deer park for the grandees, which could raise their farming, or a theater, which would lower my authority. There's a grand bazaar, which would raise the trade for the patricians. So patricians really want this. This is the main thing. Patricians want this. This is the only thing on here that's really a want for anybody. And it's only a want for the patricians. So the main goal here, and this is important. This is important. If you are not a patrician, what you want to happen is to have 2 other things score higher than this so this doesn't happen. That's the trick here. Hi, Rose. Let's see where you are. Rose, you are in... Rose has become a patrician. Rose is a patrician. So y'all want to kind of figure this out. I'm going to wait a little bit so you can kind of communicate. But you basically do not... Like, everybody that is not a patrician wants this to not happen. Counts want this, so this is probably the best one for the counts to vote on and agree on. So this would probably be one of them. You could also get the deer park and just help the grandees get better farming if you wanted. So you could have like, oh, grandees all go for this and counts all go for this and then patricians go for this and you just hope. But yeah. I'm going to start the auction in 3, 2, 1. Oh, reminder really quick. It's exclamation point fund, the letter you want to fund, and then the amount you want to fund. Your money can be seen here. I'm just going to hit it on this one. Your money can be seen there on the screen. It's a little tiny. I do apologize. I can't change it. It's tiny for me too. So right now, the observatory is winning. So the observatory is good. The observatory probably doesn't want any more money because they're going to spend all of it on that. The Grand Bazaar is sitting at 1,800. 3,050 now. So something needs to break 3,050 in order for E not to happen. Which right now looks like it wants to be the monument. But there's only 20 seconds left, and that's on my timing, so it's probably about 10 seconds left at the time of you hearing me say this. Ooh. Ooh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. So it did happen, and the observatory happened. Okay. So that rose the trade of patricians. So now this is important for the grandees. Grandees need to increase their trade if they can. If grandees increase their own trade, the patricians don't get it. Or lower the patricians' trade. That is what, like, the grandees are the only ones that can really do something here. Or the counts need to lower the patricians. But the counts do not want to hurt the grandees' trade. This is a dangerous spot. Alright. A kraken! A kraken! A real-life, honest-to-ninth kraken just outside my harbor off the west shore. We should send our navy to subdue the beast at once. A kraken has every advantage in a sea battle, Your Majesty. Perhaps a lighter touch is preferable? It said kraken can be appeased by offering of living creatures. Heretical nonsense! You can't be considered this, Your Majesty. Okay, if we send in the navy, we lose. Patrician's navy dies. Appease the kraken with a sacrifice, 50% chance, or let it be as a 55% chance. I don't have a stance here. Farming is probably the wisest one. but letting it be is also a 55% chance. B and C are really the only good ones. I am going to do a call for unity, but that's it. Like, the Navy one doesn't help anybody. The military's low. Nobody's doing anything with military, so that's kind of a meh point. And you're really looking at a tie between the two. It's not any more valuable to vote for one or the other at this point. My hope is that if we appease the Kraken with a sacrifice, it hurts faith, but I don't know. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Boop. It failed. Dozens of emaciated goats and cows are rounded up, carted off to the coast, where they're dumped unceremoniously into the water near Noble Tradition Jisp Games estate. Oh hey, I didn't realize Jisp was here. Hi Jisp, wherever you are. Stability is now civil. So stability went up because y'all voted for the one thing together, but stability went up because I did a call for unity. Had nothing to do with anything else. Unfortunately, the strange ritual does nothing to appease the monster and only angers the church. Oh crap, that hurt my stability by 2. Shit. Meanwhile, the accursed Kraken takes up permanent residence along the coast, hampering trade and scaring much of the local population away. Defiance has gone up by 2. Trade has plummeted on the patricians, though. So that did stop the patricians from beating their next goal. And Noble Patrician Just Games wealth has decreased by 750. So that did stop the patricians from meeting their goal, but their stability is really bad now. A terrible secret. Is anybody? Wait, are you at step 3? That's step 2. That's step 2. That's step 2. Yeah, the counts are the only ones that have a good chance if they're, because their faith is lowered, so they will be at rank 3 soon. Your Majesty, I bring urgent news. The counts are deliberately eroding the power of the church in the east. I feared the church was in trouble. We have been in decline, alas, and now we know why, which is the worst part of all. The counts are planning to hollow your mind and summon a demon to fill the void and take possession. By the time they're finished, you'll be nothing but a shell. The demon will take over, by the ninth god! My thoughts exactly, Your Majesty. We must bring this sacrilege to the council's attention. So we would spread the word about the dangers of demons, which would increase the faith in the counts, would decrease my authority, and would raise defiance for the counts. Have the queen bathe in holy water twice a day, which would delay the scheme. Or counts are hardly a threat, leave them to their business. So I am going to veto, but I'm going to veto this one. So we cannot leave the counts alone. So they're either going to be delayed by a turn. All right. Ooh, this is fun. Okay. This is close. This is close. There's 19 people here. There's plenty more of you that can vote. There are 19 nobles. Is this where we're ending? Are we all just voting B? Are we just delaying their scheme rather than, you know, doing the thing that is against their scheme anyway by increasing the faith? This is the thing. If you increase their faith, they can't complete it if we get them to 5. But if we delay it, you got to get it up by 2. It's a thing. No, this is fun because I get to call it what I want. So it's only one away. It's one vote away. Do we have one more vote for A? Ba-bum, Ba-bum. Ba-bum. It does help the grandees. Yeah, this is the kind of interesting thing. And the grandees need it by next season as well. So it's, are you helping the grandees or are you helping the counts? Ba-bum. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boop. Morning and evening, you take time out of your busy schedule to bathe. Unfortunately, the holy water is extra holy if it's cold. You maintain a near permanent shiver. Still, you detect no signs of possession. The Count's efforts have been hampered. Their stat goal will not be evaluated until the end of next season. About your heir. Your marriage to Ophelia has grown strong and steady like an old castle wall. Though it began as a political arrangement, it's blossomed into something like love. It's high time you thought about an heir. Congratulations are in order. The royal wedding was a magnificent affair. Went about as well as could be expected. You're still in power, aren't you? Still got the crown on your head? That's what matters. You've done well so... I barely get to love, honestly. You've done well so far, but something's still missing, an heir. You need someone young whose loyalty is assured. A child of your own would do the trick, even if they're a bastard. Or the youngest of your many cousins. I could adopt a lowborn, but that raises defiance. Could make my youngest my heir. My youngest cousin my heir. Well, it's pronouns. It's not body part, Shadow, so it's still possible. It's pronouns, not it's gender, not sex, y'all. Gender, not sex. Even the let's see. I am going to go. You know what? Just because chat's being weird. Traditional method. No one will object to that. I'll arrange for you to take a month off from your ruling. You can get down to business. To defeat the Huns. Deep in the south, the grandee paces back and forth along the balcony of his hillside villa. I'm told that progress is slow. How could they be so blind? Trusting in that fool of a queen after everything she's done? The Grandee's aim is to raise other regions' combined defiance to 8 or more. So Grandee's still the same one. The Grandees make 500 wealth from a series of candy investments. Other nobles gain 200. Okay, so I don't want to raise anybody here. I have money right now, so I could do this and ruin my treasury. I could do this and ruin my treasury, but this would lower defiance. This would keep the Grandees from succeeding, but the problem is that we still have the Counts to worry about. The Grandees would no longer be a threat. The Counts would still be a threat. I think what I want to do is this. So we'll be nice to the patricians this time, because patricians are hurting. I'm going to lose 700. I think this is the best one for me. Okay. I'm sorry, another curse? Excuse me? Noble Patrician Larmith rushes into the council chamber, breathless and in disarray. By Zenya's ashes, you look like you haven't slept for weeks. That's because I've been placed under a curse. Look, my hair's falling out in chunks. By the ninth god, get away from me. It was one of my laborers. I saw it in her eyes. She's an evil witch. Have the so-called witch tested. Send scholars to the coastal lands to find an explanation. Or have Larmith sent to the east to relax. Which would help their trade. So this would help patricians trade. This is not good, so I'm going to actually say no to that. So you can either do a witch trial, or have Larmith sent to the east. Well, it says trade up. It looks like it would be. Although, I don't know. They don't tell you all the info, and that's kind of the fun of it. They don't tell you. You just kind of got to go off what it looks like. So somebody's trade's going up with C. Dragon, are you... Why didn't your vote count? Oh, no, there's your vote. There it is. Well, counts are in the lead. Counts are winning right now. Everybody needs to remember the counts are winning. Everybody needs to take out the counts. And I'm not joking here. Counts are currently winning. Okay. Indeed, yes, that'd be wonderful. Change of pace, some fresh air, perfect. How exquisite. Be sure to bring plenty of coin. Okay, trade has gone up in the east. Plumily got some money. The east is becoming a popular destination for those looking to improve their health. So what had happened there was basically somebody looked at you evilly, Larmeth, and you just assumed that they were a witch, but you were stressing out over things. The Gossamer Shield. Your Highness, heed my plea. The great tragedy of our time has befallen the East. You ran out of capes? Worse even than that, I fear. An order of once great knights has fallen into disrepute. It's the Order of the Gossamer Shield, Your Majesty. They were once the greatest of knightly orders to serve the counts. Their virtues were extolled by bards across the land. Tales that would make a troll weep. They've been brought low. They're working as glorified bounty hunters for the coast. This is a stain on our honor of the East. You haven't missed much honor. Nonsense. Our military has suffered some setbacks recently, so we hired Gossamer Security to keep order. For a pretty penny, I might add. Okay, so military has gone, just went up for the coast, but the patricians lost some money. Gossamer Security has been solving the problems we want solved and kicking the buttocks we want kicked. Blood and Stars, Gossamer Security how has it come to this? These are knights, not mercenaries, and they need reminding of a little thing called chivalry. Please, Your Grace, I beg the council to be reasonable. Okay. Recall the order and restore its dignity. Defiance probably goes up for the counts and down for the... I'm sorry. Defiance goes up for the coast and down for the counts. So that doesn't affect the grandees at all. My stability would go down. I believe there would be a 300 coin loss for somebody. I'm not sure who. And farming would go down for somebody. Invite Gossamer Security to help protect the coast. That would be 600 treasury I would spend, and that would mess with Defiance in the opposite direction. And improve trade. Hire the Order to join the Palace Watch. I would lose 1,100 and would raise my authority. Or I could ignore everything, which would lower my authority, raise Defiance, which would help the Grandees, and that would raise military. I am going to do the Monarch's Golden Choice here. And I'm going to be a bit weird and unexpected. I'm going to hire them to work for me. So if you vote for C, you get money. If you vote C, you get money. That's how that works. So it's going to come down to C or D. Grandees want D because it raises Defiance of the two groups that Grandees need in order to complete this turn. Neku just keeps voting Contrarian to be spiteful. But at this point, I don't think there's a way, because there's not enough active voters to stop this one. Neku, you are part... Neku, you need to understand this. Neku, you are right here. You are green. You want to vote with green. So if you see a lot of votes going for green, you probably want to vote for whatever green is doing. Because you are on green's team. So if you don't know what to do, vote with green. When they arrive in their palace, the Knights of Gossamer Shield turn out to be petty, argumentative, and ruthless, worlds away from Countess Anubis' romantic vision. But they are very, very efficient. On their first day, they catch a thief sneaking into your kitchens and beat him to a pulp. As for your honor guard, they and the Order get on well. Certainly, they have all very high opinions of themselves. Ooh, nice, bunny. I'm jealous. Giant spiders! Your Grace, a forest on my land has been completely overrun by giant spiders. Some are as big as horses. The trees are shrouded in webs and travelers are going missing. We must put a stop to this. Oh, yep, sorry. Forgot to turn that back. My bad. What should be done about the giant spiders infesting a forest in the east? We could send the army to wipe them out, only a 40% chance. We could burn it with fire, which would lower the trade for the east, lower the farming for the east, and piss them off. We could put a bounty on the giant spider legs, which would cost 900. I don't really want that one. Or you must learn to coexist with the giant spiders. I'm going to choose this because it doesn't. It's my last one. Everything else is on cooldown. So you could learn to coexist with them, which would raise defiance of the counts. Or you could punish the counts with B and raise their defiance. So grandees want B or D. Neither of them, I believe, will raise it. I don't think any of these are raised by 2, but there might be a raise by 2. So if grandees can team up and get one of these 2 to happen, it might be enough to push them into actually beating their goal. Yeah. So grandees have an option for B or D, but they need to decide together. Be sure to... Okay, it looks like Dor is going for B right away. Which I'm gonna say this. I'm pretty sure B might be a 2 defiance, so that might be the right one. Because Neku. Oh, Neku. Neku, you need to listen to chat, not me. Listen to what chat is telling you. You need to talk with chat. You are a patrician, Neku. Yeah, it looks like y'all have chosen to take my money, which is not really good for many people. Don't listen to Dor. Dor is gold. Dor is up here. This is Dor. Dor is gold. Neku, you need to listen to Icy, and Bunny, and Trench, and Shadow Mousy, and Rose. You need to listen to the green names. So my stability did go up there, but I lost a bunch of money, which I'm not happy about. Yeah, no, that's also a valid strategy, Neku. Vote last and vote for wherever the greens are. Is really what you want to do, Neku. Send an urgent message to the Adventurers Guild. The next day, a band of ruffians with impractical weapons appear before the council to hear your problem. Giant spiders, is it? Damn it, those things give me the creeps. Ooh, now I get to pick here. Could say have some backbone, which would increase trade, lower defiance, and raise stability. We're offering a bounty, which does the same. Oh, they all do the same. They all do the same here. The bounty's weird, if I say that. Have some backbone. That's why I want them gone. I'm going to do this one. We'll do our best, no promises. Soon, adventurers are stacking spider legs high in your throne room and walking out with pockets full of gold. Count Nixcat is pleased to inform you that the spider problem has been mostly solved. The merchants are returning to the woods. So trade has gone up for the counts. Defiance has gone down for the counts. And their stability is now civil in the kingdom. Okay. Now, interestingly, the patricians are now the lowest, and they need to have the highest. The counts still need faith, and we only were able to delay them a little bit, so the counts have made it to tier 3. So now the counts are the biggest threat. Everybody, you need to stop the counts. A count rides to a remote, unremarkable spot of moorland. Soon, another joins him. The church is scrambling for power. The High Inquisitor is losing her grip on the populace. How exquisite! Then we make our move, unseen. We must invite a demon to possess the queen. The ancient books describe 2 demons, each attracted to different aspects of the human mind. So, you can get Rashomasa, the Mad Tyrant, the Cockroach Queen, which is raising authority, or the Duke of Greed, which is raising the treasury. So, vote A to raise authority, vote B to raise the treasury. They try to scale these two so they're kind of equivalent of what's going on. So... Do-do-do. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. Gotta wait a little bit, because there are 6 that could vote. It looks like it is going to be raised authority, though. It's 3-2. And I don't know who we're missing. I don't know who didn't vote. The missing vote is... Klumali. There we go. Boop. And a boop. The Cockroach Queen was once favored servant of the 9th god, but when she betrayed him, he banished her to the deepest caves, where she became a twisted agent of the 7th. She desires to rise to power once more. She'll be attracted to a powerful queen whose authority is unquestioned. For the final stage of the scheme, the counts must raise the authority to at least 7. So it needs to go up by 2. By royal decree. Okay. Okay. I am going to be a dick here. And I'm going to make this interesting. I'm going to get rid of my ability to veto. I'm getting rid of my ability to veto and putting reverse voting in. Reverse voting, for those who do not know, means the one with the least votes will win. The Crystal Pox. Your esteemed highness, I bring unfortunate tidings. An outbreak of crystal pox is ravaging the coast. How many dead? Whole villages has succumbed. The disease is terribly virulent. Your majesty, if I may make a suggestion, victims of crystal pox are only infectious at the boil stage. Once they're fully covered in crystals, they no longer spread the disease. Indeed, the pox crystals can be harvested and used in jewelry. If we allow the pox to spread, we could make money in the coast. By the 9th woman, that's heartless even for you. The only way to fight the pox is to close the roads and shut down all trade until the wave subsides. Is that what you want for the coast to lose money? Okay. So you can see a lot of shit is going to happen here. If we spread the crystal pox and harvest the gems, it raises defiance a lot. I believe this is a raise by 2. Decreases farming because people will die. Lowers the military for the coast. Lowers the faith for the coast. So, this is our 3rd column, just so anybody's aware. Lowers the stability. And gets 3,500. Now, we could just ignore it, which lowers farming, lowers military, because people will die. Lowers faith, because people will die. Lowers stability, again. Gives 300 to the patricians for some reason. And raises some wealth randomly. Door. Quarantine the coast to prevent further spread. So this one does the least damage. This one lowers stability. I lose stability regardless. This one makes wealth go wishy-washy. This one lowers farming. This one lowers some money. Now, I am going to say, because this one is the least problematic. Actually, one of these gives me money. You know what? I'm going to say, if you give me money, you can have money. Good luck. Figure out what you want. You can talk to each other. I will leave the voting going for a little bit longer. But if I'm getting money, y'all can have money. Ooh. We got all the patricians together. All the patricians are together. Ooh. Are we gonna get any more votes? Are we gonna get any more votes? Looks like it is 8-6. So, boop. All together now. Patrician's Defiance is now mutinous. So this is enough now for the Grandees to reach their 8, because that is 8 total. So if it lowers by 1, the Grandees can lose it. Because that was a 3 increase. So the Grandees are now catching up to the final tier, unless it gets lowered. The next day, you deliver a speech declaring that the Crystal Pox is actually a giant hoax. Anyone who believes in it is a fool and probably a traitor. This came out post-COVID. Sure enough, this causes the pox to spread like wildfire. Over the next few months, the Crystal Pox ravages the coast, the entire kingdom, and thousands of peasants falling victim. Farms lie fallow. Peasants turn away from a god that abandoned them. Jesus. Farming has dropped by 2 in all regions. Military has dropped by 2 in all regions. Faith has dropped by 1 in all regions. Faith has dropped by 1, and stability has dropped by 2. Now, patricians have the ability to rebel because they now have more defiance than they do anything else. But we got money, and everybody got a little bit of money out of that. So I like this. Bankruptcy looms. No, it doesn't. Your Majesty, I had booked this meeting intending to discuss our financial rules, but you solved the issue on your own. Congratulations on digging out of that dismal financial pit. Boom. You remember we hired those Eastern Knights to join the Palace Watch? The Order of the Cobweb Seal or whatever? Something's up. They're flashing far too much cash considering what we pay them. One of them has bought their horse a full set of gold teeth. So I will explain what rebellion is once we're in the middle turn, just so everybody understands who has not played this before. They're veining and seated while one of them claims she could beat me in the arena if we fought. The nerve. As you see, they're not fitting in. But they are doing a good job of keeping order in the city, and they're asking for their own barracks to keep them separate from the rabble. Oh, how exquisite. That sounds like a good way to honor our fine order. So, rebellion, the way rebellion works is basically, if you have enough defiance over the higher stat between authority and stability, so over both of them, you are able to rebel, and that can stop others from being able to complete theirs, but you will no longer gain progress in yours, if I am remembering correctly. It's, again, been 2 years. So, but you can basically postpone things, but then I believe your military matters here, and your military, I think, needs to be higher than anybody who is not rebelling. So you would lose because it's currently 3-2. Should Gossamer Shield Knights be given special treatment? Build a new wing of the palace for the Gossamer Knights, which would cost me a bit. Would raise my stability, though, but lower my authority. We could refuse to coddle them. We could investigate where they're getting their funds. Or we could pay Anubis to teach them about chivalry. You know what? I'm gonna say we should pay Anubis. Here you go. I'll be nice to Anubis. I'm saying we should pay Anubis. That's what I think should happen. I think we should all pay Anubis money. My vote goes to D. That would lower defiance, which would stop the Grandees. That would make me lose $500. That would give $750 to Anubis, and it would raise some stability. That's my vote. I'm voting in Anu's favor. Helping Anu here will hurt the Grandees no matter what. Like, Grandees See, the thing with grandees, and this is interesting for grandees, if grandees are assuming that D is going to win, their best bet is actually to try and get at least 5 votes to not be for D. Specifically, they want 6, but it's weird. Oh. They're doing an authority. It's currently on C with an authority roll. Oh. Ooh, we're tied again. Yes, phone? Boopity boop. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
You know it's
4, 3, 2, 1. Boop. I can only wait so long. It's a tie. Well, I did say I wanted D. I did say I wanted D. And this is a guarantee. This is a 50-50. This could screw me over. So I'm going for this. The problem is I did not get my vote for unity. So I'm a little annoyed because that put it at 6-6, which means I did not get the bonus stability that I was after. Oh, how delightful. I hope this would be my opportunity to shine. Defiance is now cordial. As soon as you've handed over the cash, Countess Anubis hurries to the capital to bring the glory days of the East back to the Order of the Gossamer Shield. The glory days turn out to focus heavily on poetry, mostly sonnets. Moved by the Countess Anubis, the goddess's passion, the knights throw themselves into it, spending their days reciting Eastern verses and contemplating the Rose Garden. The palace becomes a sanctuary of thought, poetics, and dramatic monologues. So this did stop the grandees. They are not at their goal. However, the patricians can still rebel because they're still up at 6. Is it out of stock? It shouldn't be out of stock. Why is it out of stock? Because I don't think one's played recently. Yeah, no, it's not out of stock. I think your thing errored. You need to refresh, but that'll give you ads, so you have a choice to make there. Sitting on a bench outside a sun-bleached villa, 2 patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. Our profits are down. Our companies are being outcompeted by the damn grandees of all people. How could this happen? Yeah, you should. It should be available because it's available. I can see it as available. Yeah, no, your thing is bugged. Then I'll do it for you. I'll be kind. See, I can go here and go here. There you go. The patrician's aim is to have the highest trade. So now, again, the counts are winning. They need to get my authority up to 7. Ow!
Oh, lovely. Cold Dawn
Thank you,
just
Cold.
provided someone with a gift sub.
Oh, I should add bruising for subs. One sec. I need add. Where is it? Reminder. Add bruising for subs. There we go. That only currently happens with Streamloots. So again, counts right here, currently in the lead. You want to keep them from getting to 7. Raise other regions' total defiance to 8. It's currently at 7. And have the highest trade, they're down. So nobody currently has their goal. Now, you can rebel, and that takes certain goals as well. There's a whole balance here. Defiance is too low, defiance is too low. Patricians can rebel if they want. But that can cause problems. But you need 4 votes to rebel. Alright, so we are going to start with the bounty fraud. Your Majesty, you recall your bounty on Spiderlegs? There has been certain financial irregularities surrounding the initiative. Though Spider problem has been solved, we still got dozens of bounties being claimed every day. In fact, we now will the Avengers Guild over 2,000. That can't be right. I've checked and double-checked the accounts, I'm afraid. I took the liberty of asking the spy master to investigate. My spies in the guild tell me they're breeding giant spiders in basements across the kingdom. They've even bred a variety with extra legs. It's obviously against the spirit of the agreement, but we didn't technically forbid it, so we still owe them 2,053 gold, legally speaking. We could cancel the bounty scheme and pay the guild what they're owed. Which would lower faith, lower trade, lower farming, lower stability, lower authority, and lower the amount. This is bad. Just bad in general. We could cancel the bounty scheme and refuse to pay the guild anything, which would lower faith, lower stability, lower farming, lower some of your money. Pay off the guild and buy up the remaining spiders, which would do less and just lower authority. Or arrest the guild members. I am going to say, as much as I don't want to do this because it's going to cost me money, I would like to see C. So I'm going to pay y'all if you vote C. I will pay y'all if you vote C. The only people who don't want C are the counts. Counts don't want C. It's kind of, it's one of those things where you kind of got to like balance things. Counts don't want C, so counts are voting for B. Everybody else is voting for C. B won't cost me anything, and I hate that I'm spending this much money. If B wins, I don't lose money, and I'm still okay, mind you. So I'm good either way this goes, because I'd like to keep the money. Because patricians want to raise their own trade is the main thing. So while it does help to lower others, grandees are your threat more so than the counts are. So if you lower the counts trade, that doesn't entirely help you, right? If you're lowering the counts trade, that's not your main problem. The grandees are higher, so that's probably why I'm assuming why the vote is not to lower the trade there, because you more need to raise your own than lower theirs, right? That's kind of the thing. But yeah. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boop. Infuriated by a refusal to pay, the Adventure Guild goes on strike. Across the kingdom, ghouls, hordlings, hobs, and other monsters are permitted to run rampant. Dungeons erupt with eldritch horrors as ancient relics gather dust. The potion industry craters. To make matters worse, once the bounty is canceled, the guild has no more use for the spiders, so they simply release them in the wild. Thousands of them. Okay, so my stability has gone down by 2. Farming in the coast has gone down to 0. Farming in the east has gone down to 2. Farming in the south has gone down to 2. Trade has now gone down by 1 in the coast. Trade has gone down by 1 in the east. Trade has gone down by 1 in the south. Faith has gone down by 1 for everybody as well. Yeah, that did not go well. Your quest for an heir is finally complete. You stand before the council holding a small child in your arms. Should I die? Ask that my crown be tossed down too. My child! The assembled nobles break out into polite applause. By designating an heir, you have cemented the stability of the kingdom. Your Majesty, may I be the first to congratulate on the birth of the child. What is their name? Mari II. How exquisite, Your Majesty. I'm sure little Mari will grow up to be a chip off the old block. If it doesn't find an heir, you just need to fulfill your ambition to win the game. Expect a visit from the Spy Master soon.
Have you been hydrating? I have a moss shake.
So, this is still not great. I don't have a specific goal. This is odds-based. But trade is still okay. But now the crystal pox is in the capital. No! Your Majesty, the crystal pox has spread from the coast to the capital itself. Hundreds of our citizens have come. Our streets are covered in glittering statues of the afflicted. Crap! Oh no! Indeed, your majesty, if only we could have prevented it. In any case, the rumor spread among the peasants, they believe the only cure of the policy is the queen touch. What do they mean by that? Exactly what it sounds like. But I don't have royal healing powers. We know that, the common folk, I'm gonna do it. What if I could actually help? The crystal box is no cure, your majesty, only the ninth god can help them now. It's just we look into the council for guidance. Queen should lay their hands on a few of the infected. I want to do this. This could go two ways. I could either die immediately or succeed. I would like to do this. 95% chance is pretty damn good. And I don't know why it's so high. But if it fails, I lose. A is a good bet and an interesting one. And also, if I just die, none of you win. I want to be clear. If I die, none of you win. So you kind of want to play the odds here too. You need to actually have your group win, not just me die. No, actually on the first playthrough of a run, you don't get to vote, Shadow. This is the interesting thing. The first run, you don't get to vote. All the follow-up ones you do, but for whatever reason, and I just witnessed this yesterday, it is glitched out on the first run. It does not have a vote. It just says, like, it puts in a fake name and just completely errors itself out. It's weird. I just witnessed this yesterday. It happened last night. They died, and no vote happened. It's a bug, but it's what happened. I don't know. If Jisp is still there, Jisp experienced it directly. It actually had like something .name as the thing, like it was like redacted .name was in the spot. It was weird. All right, here we go. Palace Watch brings a small number of carefully vetted peasants to the palace. Each of them has a solid character reference and an appropriately tragic backstory. Orphans, widows, etc. Challenge succeeded. Stability has gone up by 1. Thank you kindly, your majesty. They are pitiable to behold, each encrusted with oozing boils and crystalline growths. You pass down the line, touching them solemnly on the forehead, and then they are ushered out of the palace. Turns out you can't cure it. The crystal pox continues to ravage the capital, but the legend of your personal intervention spread far and wide. Soon half the kingdom believes in your healing touch. My authority went up, so that helped out the counts a little bit. When the pox passes, gemstones litter the street, but the people are too busy mourning to pick them up. The treasurer has her servants collect them under cover of darkness, so we just gained 1,000 for that as well. So that was interesting. That did not go how I expected it to. Okay, everybody has a lot of money. Here is your money. Anubis has 4,500. If you have the extension up here in this corner, you can click on that and see exactly how much money you have. If you're on mobile, I'm sorry. Now to note here, authority going up is B, and the counts want this. So they're probably going to get to hit their goal. This is not good. The best thing y'all can do is not let the counts get this. And the only way to get that is to get 2 other things. Raising trade is what the patricians want. The patricians want their trade up. So the patricians really want this one. Lowering the faith doesn't really matter. Raising the military doesn't really matter. Lowering the military doesn't really matter. Farming increase would probably be wise just across the board. If anybody wants to help that one, though that is helping the counts. Lowering the faith of the patricians is an option, but patricians want this. This is not gonna go great, but yeah, so it's exclamation point fund, followed by the letter, and then how much you want to put in. So yeah. Now, as a note, I will probably do this again next week, and your money will carry around to the next round through. Hey, Snow, your money carries over to the next one, so if you spend all of your money, you will not have it next week. Just to be clear, that does not carry over between, that carries over between games. So be aware. Ooh. Spooky. Brr, brr, brr. Yeah, right now it does appear that it's going to be a wind unless unless we can get 4,000 more on the Patrician's Grand Bazaar and 7,000 more on the Grandee's Fortress. So it's a lot of money. The money is out there, but it has to happen. Okay. That took too long. Boo, boo, boo. Yep, here we go. Late into the night, your sleep is fitful. You dream of walking an endless maze deep underground. Something's tugging you in the right direction, but you grow more and more dizzy as you walk. Light flashes. When you look down, your hands are transformed into bloody pincers. In a moment of clarity, you understand where you need to be. Follow your path. Moving feels unreal. You're walking, but every stride is instantly forgotten, as if you didn't make it. Eventually, you reach a cave of blackened glass. Your feet creak and scrape along the shiny floor, and in the unearthly light, you catch sight of your reflection. You wake. Are you sure, Your Majesty? You're in the council chamber in full session, surrounded by nobles, dressed in your usual ceremonial garments. Close by, the counts watch you closely. Of course, that's what Her Majesty just said, wasn't it? Yes, of course it is. Get on with it. Chancellor gives you a worried look over their glasses. Very well, Your Majesty. The mass execution will go ahead. Fuck it. Excellent. Make it happen. Chancellor shakes their head, but verifies your order. How delightful, Your Majesty. Thank you. Over the coming days, you keep waking up in half-recalled conversations, staying in a room without remembering how you got there, reading letters, replying to orders you never gave. Author is now tyrannical. Defiance is now mutinous in the south. Whispers spread amongst the palace staff. Your wife, Ophelia, comes to you one morning, looking worried. I refuse to stand by while you're in the state, Mari. Something's very wrong. Obviously, we all know a monarch must keep a tight grip on the kingdom if it is to thrive, but this is getting ridiculous. These orders you're giving are getting out of hand. You know of no such orders. You're right, I must be cleansed. You have the palace servants run you a bath of holy water. The scent of water rises, stinging your throat and nose. You're sure this will be fine. Gingerly, you lower yourself into the water, and a strange ringing starts to echo in your ears. Everything goes black. You blink awake to see Count Shadowgamers and a group of more counts watching you, smiling. You're shackled in a small stone room with the tiniest window letting you see pale sunlight. How in the ninth god's name did you capture me? I demand that you let me go. I knew it. Let's not do anything rash. Apologize for your rough treatment, Your Majesty. Our Lady Rachamasa warned us that you have a seven streak. It would be a shame to let you run away. What are you doing? Just free me. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll have you all executed. No, just free me. How delightful. I hope we can resolve this calmly. We brought a demon, the Cockroach Queen, into this realm, and she set up a home in your body. Now you have a choice, Your Highness. None of us want bloodshed today, though I'm sure Rachamasa would enjoy it. If you allow her to live in your body, you can stay on the throne with the rightful queen, Delvira, as your grand advisor. Delvira will be making all the decisions, and Rachamasa will be doing most of the steering. But you'll be let out for fresh air occasionally. Or you can be subsumed altogether, and Delvira will take the crown. What does Rachamasa want? She demands blood, and blood she will have. Fine. Oh, exquisite. I knew you'd see sense, Your Highness. The counts untie you, but the ringing in your ears remains. Now you focus on the sound. It's almost like laughter. You return to your throne under the Count's guidance while Delvira gains a firm grip on your kingdom. The nobles quickly fall in line. Delvira is praised as the best advisor the crown could hope for. Naturally, there are gaps in your memory, larger and more frequent as time goes on. But for now, you are surviving. Though you couldn't quite call it living. For several wretched years, the possessed Queen Mari did the bidding of her Eastern puppet master. In the end, the demon in her skull drove her to madness and death. The Grandees continued to throw accusations of witchcraft and heresy at their enemies. Eventually, everyone gradually learned to ignore them. The patricians failed to turn the kingdom's debts against it, and the moment had passed ever practical. They set about collecting interest and hoarding wealth, waiting for the time to scheme once more. Once their useful puppet queen finally expired, it was a relatively trivial matter for the counts to ensure that Delvira took the throne, though they feared it would be more difficult to control a queen who didn't have a demon occupying her head. 2 years, 6 months. Well, we got married. The wealthiest noble was Klumali with 3,900, and Icy ended with 0. And the kingdom stats. So this is how the next game will run. I get to start with a decent chunk of money. I believe this kind of resets. I can't remember. But authority is currently high. Trade is doing good. Everything else is struggling really badly. So the next round will be very hard for me unless I go trade again. But yeah. So to anybody who was new, did you enjoy it? And if you had played this before, did you enjoy us coming back to it? That is the question now. I had fun. I enjoy this game. I think this game is interesting. I'm sad that it is done. It is a completed game. But I understand. You can only really do so much, right? They do have a new game called Occlude coming out very soon. It is not a multiplayer one, though. So that is kind of a thing. We are going to be ending, though. Thank you, Shadow. I played it for, I think, like three months or so, nonstop. Back when it first came out, maybe a little bit longer. I had special outfits and everything for it. It was a blast. So it's neat revisiting it after 2 years of not touching it. But yeah, no, that was fun. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you again for the follows. Thank you for the gift sub, Cold, and thank you for the resub, Icy. And again, for everybody, I appreciate you. If you do not know me, again, my name is Cameron JK. My pronouns are they, them. I am a chill variety streamer. I focus mostly on indie games. Not always, but mostly on indie games. If all goes well, it'll be Minecraft in the morning. And then in the afternoon, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no direct plans. We're chilling. That's what we're doing. We're gonna chill and relax and hopefully have a good time. I need to send you away though. And I'm looking at what people are streaming on my follow list and who I would like to send y'all to. Let's go. You know what? Let's go to the most stressful cozy game that there is, A Little to the Left. A Little to the Left is being run by our friend Dreamy Newt, who I always forget if there's an underscore. There is, but I always forget. But I love and appreciate y'all. I had a fantastic time.
126. Now that we're such good friends, we should get matching tattoos.
Now, Mari, we're on the ending
What
screen.
should we get? It can be temporary if you want.
Mari, we're on the ending screen. But I love and appreciate y'all. I hope you had a good one. I will catch y'all next time. I hope you have a fantastic one. That said, love and appreciate y'all. See ya. Love ya. Bye-bye.
Milkshake brings all the viewers to the yard.
Again?
They
Mari,
can
calm
bring-
down.